Well, the DNC Rules and Bylaws Committee have recommended South Carolina to lead off the party's 2028 presidential nominating schedule. Today's vote came after months of lobbying by politicians from across the nation. I want to bring in CBS News political reporter Zak Hudak, who's live now from outside the meeting rooms in Washington, where this whole thing happened. Zak, why South Carolina over, say, Nevada?
Liz, what this really came down to was a debate over which demographics the Democratic Party wants to most prioritize going forward. The black population in the country has been, frankly, the backbone of the party for a few decades. It has been the most consistent supporter among different racial demos of the party in all elections. So there was very much a sentiment that it is owed to a state like South Carolina with a lot of black voters and a lot of working class voters, another key constituent of the party, to let them have the first say as they did in 2024. We saw in 2020 that they essentially, they being South Carolina, ordained Joe Biden. He was not performing well, and getting that support in South Carolina showed that he frankly had the support of the Democratic base and coalition. At odds with that was Nevada, which is a state with a massive Latino population, the largest growing demographic in the country, and a huge population of labor folks who are heavily involved in unions, largely because of all the casinos in the state. So the question was, did the Democrats want to double down on their historic base, or did they want to try to make some inroads with Latinos who have splintered off and gone to Republicans many times, even in presidential elections in recent cycles? And additionally, did they want to try to win back some of those union voters who they've lost as a result of the MAGA movement? So those were the two things they were weighing. In the end, it came down to the state that I think was viewed in that room as having been the most loyal to the party in the past, and they rewarded South Carolina handsomely for it.
And we should note, Zach, this is a recommendation. It's not official yet. So what will it take to get this decision approved?
The next step, Liz, is next month in Austin, the entire DNC will have to vote on that. That's about 450 members, and they'll need a simple majority. There are some hiccups that could come up. We saw Representative Debbie Dingell get fairly bothered in that room because there were previously 5 states that were going to get a waiver that would allow them to vote before Super Tuesday, when many states vote. Today, the committee voted to extend that to 6 states. So they added Virginia, they added New Mexico, and that actually pushed back where Michigan would fall, because Michigan's election day is its own state law, pushed it back by 1. It went from number 4 to number 5. So there are folks who are upset with how things shook out tonight, and I think you can imagine there'll be some arguments taking place on the floor of that Democratic convention. But for the most part, it is uncommon that the committee would make such a recommendation and it would get rejected. So I think, barring anything out of the ordinary happening, this will get approved next month.
Zak Hudak, thanks so much. Great to see you.